the truth about King James, a black man who helped to preserve and safeguard the Bible. Live September 29th, 2023. Commanding General Yohana, live at King James Castle in Scotland. Come on down and support the ISUPK UK. Lift the glass, come and join the brotherhood and drink with the ancient as we celebrate and keep the Feast of Tabernacles for our King Yahushua in King James Castle, bringing his crew of heavy hitters. Commanding General Yohana will put 12 shield General Muhammad scripture breakdown class up against anyone, against any biblical scholar, untested, unchallenged, ISUPK, undefeated. Leviticus chapter 23, the Feast of Tabernacles in a black man's castle, hosted in Scotland, the United Kingdom, UK. Commanding General Yohana will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle, Thursday, September 28th, Scripture Breakdown class. Friday, September 29th, there will be a King James Castle tour, also a Johnny Walker Distillery tour, and Friday night, the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles. Saturday, September 30th, we will have camp on the streets of England. Sunday, October 1st, the UK Cookout. Monday, October 2nd, the Warwickshire Castle Tour. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana at King James Castle in England. This is an absolutely monumental, historical event.
That's the stop. But man, don't we deserve a shot? Don't we deserve a shot to be the Lord's people? Israel, let's do it!
I apologize. I apologize again. I'm learning the technology, man. Salakia, Salakia. So let's get it on. I'm sorry. All right. So let me go back to the beginning. So what I had the sister Salakia. Let me start over again. Let me show this again because it shouldn't be missed. The sisters in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas, Delaware, they giving a priest appreciation dinner, man, for the brothers because they love y'all so much. They love you so much. They're going to give you this dinner to show their love for you, man. They know you worn and working hard. How y'all hearing me now? Give me some ones to make sure I'm good to go now. They making this dinner for y'all to show that they love you and to show that they appreciate you, man. And listen, we appreciate you sisters for doing it. You understand? We appreciate you. And we love you right back. You understand? They say that the sisters just putting it together. Let me try to pull that up again. All the sisters and shout out the names because it shouldn't be missed. It shouldn't be missed. You got Sister Ratazabath, Sister Naima, Sister Amawana, Sister Shapala, Sister Kazaka Waf, Rakaya, Kaya, Thalaya, Yaqua, Ayan Lawana, Amber, Aitara, Awara, Araka, Shakara, Nicole. They getting it in, making all the food to feed you brothers in appreciation for all your hard work, putting it down in the ISUPK in the spirit of Yahushua. You understand? They want to say Tawada to a couple people that made donations. That names I have here: Madama and Officer Hadar and Amana. Your Tawada to y'all for the donations. Keep the donations coming for the sister. Y'all could look up the y'all can look it up on Facebook right here. Appreciation Saturday, October 21st, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the ISUPK Philadelphia location. So that's where they're going to be feeding the brothers and getting it in just to show their love and gratitude for everything that the brothers do, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, sisters, and Thawada, Akim, Thawada, for all that you do. All right, I'm good to go with the sound. Salakia for the beginning. So now what I'm going into today is should we be almost all the way right with the Most High, or do we have to be all the way right with the Most High and with the words in the Bible? You understand? In the church, we grow up and we around Christians all the time. Our families are Christians. People in the streets are Christians. Everybody is Christian growing up, if they're not Islam, worshiping Arab customs and Arab idols and Arab languages and trying to be like Arabs, yet they'll never be Arabs. If it ain't that, the most of the time you're dealing with Christians, you understand, who claim to believe in the Bible, claim to believe in God, claim to believe in Christ, but really don't show it. You go home and you see their actions and you hear their talk, and you know it's a lot of inappropriate things going on in your Christian church. First of all, everybody's sleeping with everybody, and it's getting worse. Once upon a time, they would try to hide it by dressing modest, but now they go up in the church dressing like a skank. You understand? Dressing like what they call it, the ratchet hoochies nowadays. They go up in the church dressed like that, and the pastor say, "Come as you are," because he wants the servant over. He want to see a few of you in the back. You understand? Also, still going on is inappropriate behavior with our children, abuse of our children in the Christian church. So you see these things and hear these things, and you hear these Christians backbiting each other, talking horrible about each other, man. Horrible about each other. In church, talking about forgive and give Jesus the wheel, and come home and act like they full of Satan. And so we grow up and we seeing this, and we see in the church, and we know they hypocrites. So church just becomes a place to hang out, a place that you can't take serious. You understand? LGBTQ lifestyle all up in the church. You understand? You hear this, and then you ask a Christian, when you get a little more sense and understand, you say, how can you keep going to this place knowing what pastor did to that brother's wife and that brother's wife? How can you keep going to church knowing what them deacons have done to the children, man? Seeing all the LGBTQ lifestyle in church when the Bible forbids that. How can you keep going to church? And most Christians say, well, it's still the house of God. Everybody ain't perfect. We fall short of the glory. We all ain't perfect. So, but it's still the house of the God. Well, damn, how? How can it be the house of God? It's my question. You understand? I'd like to know that. How the hell can it be the house of God when nobody's doing what God says? Nobody's doing what God says. If you following an abuser of children because he quote a few scriptures out of the Bible, that doesn't make you good. That doesn't separate you from him. Well, I believe in God, so I just take what he say and I do what he say. I don't do as he does. You still listen. The Lord said, and I'm gonna get it. Matthew 7:18 says, "A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit." So if you following this corrupt place, this corrupt house, this corrupt church with corrupt leaders, you understand, where the leaders are corrupt, if you stay there, then you are corrupt. Then you are corrupt. Because a corrupt tree can't bring forth good fruit. So if this corrupt leader sound good enough for you to follow and keep following, that's saying a lot about what's inside of you. That's saying a lot about what's inside of you if you got no problem staying around and following this corrupt guy. You understand? That is your Christian church. That is any organization that's corrupt. Listen, and I'm talking about Islam too. So I know Islam is the Arabs and Allah and Arab customs, but Islam is just another form of Christianity too. Muslims celebrate Christmas. Can you believe it? Muslims celebrate Christmas. Muslims celebrate Thanksgiving and Easter. Muslims over here in America celebrate American holidays, man, and eat pork. You understand? Don't let them fool you. You understand? So this Christian society has everybody in a chokehold, man, but not the ISUPK. We will not capitulate. We will not conform, you understand? And people hate the ISUPK. They hate us because we say we're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Oh, that pisses them off. How are they going to say they ain't feel like they the only one got the truth? They ain't the only one got the truth. Commander Johnny Hunter ain't the only one. The generals in the ISUPK, they ain't the only ones got the truth. Listen, you hate us because we separate ourselves from you, and we only separate ourselves from you because we see the corrupt and evil things that you do in all of your organizations. And the ISUPK, we are trying to be perfect before the eyes of the Lord. And listen, there's many times in the Bible where certain prophets, they thought that, they said, listen, Lord, everybody didn't bow their knee to Satan, man. And I'm the only one left. You understand? The Lord said he have always reserved a few men that have not bowed their knee to Baal. Thank the Lord, man. In these last days, those few men are in the ISUPK. It's in the ISUPK. Because listen, a young man come in our school and he come trying to shed himself for the world, shed himself for the habits that he grew and had developed in the world that's against the Bible. And we see it. And when it happens, we have what's called a council, which is the court of Israel. And we sit and we hash it out and we go into these councils and we show this brother his error and teach him how to be right from this point on. And he learned from it and become a better man and could become a better man. And thus he is born again. Now he's born again. The soldiers in the ISUPK, we didn't got rid of the old man. We didn't got rid of the old man. Now our job is to look at our new members that come in and find the old men in them. And when it needs to be corrected, we get them demons out of them, man. And they happy for it. They happy for it. We have the top counselors on the planet Earth, man. That you ain't giving half the money you giving to these heathen counselors. But we deserve the money for counseling you day and night and getting your life right. We surely deserve your donations and your priest funds. We surely deserve it. You understand? So they hate us because we separate ourselves from other Israelite groups. These other Israelite groups have a lot of Christianity that they still dealing with and still teaching, a lot of them. So we can't be found with them. The scriptures say in 1 Thessalonians 5:22, abstain from all appearance of evil, man. Now, how are we going to hang with your Israelite group when y'all still say it's okay to lay down and have sex with heathen women? When God forbid that in the Bible. How are we going to hang with you when you still smoking weed and you say it's okay to smoke weed because it's from the earth, when God is against getting high and doing drugs? How are we going to hang out and fellowship and bond with you and invite you to our brotherhood that we got in the ISUPK for you to destroy the brotherhood because you hating brothers and treating women unkindly and doing all type of mess, all the stuff we hear about? I'm going to go into some of it today. You understand? So that's why we cannot be with you Israelite groups, because you cannot taint. We won't let you poison brothers and sisters. Not on our watch. Not on our watch. So if you want to come through the straight gate, if you want to follow Christ like he said to follow him, you got to come in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. He's the most brotherliest man I've ever met in my life. The greatest father on this earth that any man could ever have. Patient and brotherly. There are times where I get pissed off for seeing things in Israel, and I voice it, and he showed me, you know what I'm saying? He say something that I realize I'm totally carnal. Like, goddamn, thought I was General Mayak, but I still got a little carnality because I be wanting heads, man. I be wanting heads when Israel go off. Or be seeming to me like this brother can't be saved. Or this sister so out of order, she can, man, let's get rid of her. That be in my mind. Because then we could teach and not have no problems. Commander General Yohana, he always see the good. He always see where where the heathen caused this sister to be like this. Our oppression. He always see where oppression caused this brother to be like this. And then he teach us how to fix it, man. And I've been rolling with him, damn near 30 years. 30 years, and I ain't met a brother more patient and brotherly and wise and full of the spirit of the Most High in Christ than Commander General Yohana, man. I done seen many Israelite, and I done seen many Israelite tout how they the big this and they the big bishop, apostle, this and that. And then they try to denounce us and say how awful we are, and then the Most High move them right out the way. And the Most High move them right out the way. He's still doing it, man. Because some of you foolish Israelites out there, you still opening your mouth against the servants of God. You still trying to lay your hands on servants of God. You still trying to act like you the people of God. Because you wear pretty clothing and you're backed by a whole government. You understand? That gives you what you need to appear to be pretty so you can do your act job, so you can do your con job. Meanwhile, destroying the nation of Israel beneath the nose of the very people that did believed in you, man. I'm going to get some instances first. I'm going to go to 1 Samuel 15:1. Be patient with me. Let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to 1 Samuel 15:1. All right, let me get it. All right. I'm going to go into first. Give me a second. I'm going to go into how men of the past, like the scriptures say, the Bible was written, things were written aforetime for our learning. And I'm going to show you what we were supposed to learn from. One of the things we were supposed to learn from in this Bible. You understand? This is 1 Samuel 15:1. It says, Samuel also said unto Saul. Saul was the king of Israel at this time. He was the king of Israel when you read the king that was over Israel right before David. He was from the tribe of Benjamin. And the prophet Samuel was sent by the Lord to Saul and told him, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people. Once again, God does have a people. Everybody that he created are not his people. Although he created everybody, out of all the people he created, he has a people that he chose to be his people, his favorite, his chosen, his covenant. And that's the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So it said, and the prophet said to Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. There's a precept to show who God's people are. Now, therefore, hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Amalek is an old ancient tribe of Esau, of the Edomites. You understand? Today, through prophecy and through history, we find out that the Amalek are the people today that call themselves Jewish, the people of the Khazar Empire, the people that are Russian, German, Slavic, Swedish descent. You understand? They now are in the land of Israel, and they were labeled the people of that land in 1948 with America's help. You understand? These are Edomites living in Israel that claim to be the Jews. They call themselves Jewish people. You understand? So these are the descendants of Amalek here. And a long time ago, Amalek was fought against us. And the Lord told Saul, remember what Amalek did to us, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came from Egypt. So as we were leaving Egypt, we had to fight these people, man. We had to fight these people who tried to destroy our young and our old that was in the back of our nation. As we moved as a nation, they would fight the rear of our people where our weak were, where the kids were, where the women were. Cowardice, in other words, cowardice. Third verse. Now go. This is the words of God coming from the prophet to Saul, the King Saul. Now go and smite Amalek, meaning kill him. Kill those people. Excuse me. I'm sorry, TikTok. Take the life of those people. I'm sorry. I got to watch my mouth. I need practice too. We got it. God sent Saul, told Saul to go and take the life, to unalive Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not. Again, these are orders from God. When God given orders, you got to listen so you can fulfill the order. So he said, smite Amalek, which means to unalive them. He said, utterly destroy them. Utterly means completely and totally destroy Amalek. He said, utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not. Those are clear orders. Don't spare none of them that was in this area, but slay both man and woman. This is from God. Infant and suckling, ox and sheep. The Lord wanted the life taken from their animals also. Not only take their life, not only unalive them, but unalive their animals. The ox, the sheep. It says the camel and the ass. Unalive all of them and all of their possessions. These were orders from God, from his prophet to the king of Israel at this time, Saul. Fourth verse. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. So they rolled up on the city with the army and laid wait till it was the right time to fulfill the orders of God. Where am I? Sixth verse, Salakia. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. So there were people there. He told them, y'all got to roll out because we about to give it to these people by orders of our God. We about to give it to Amalek. So if y'all don't want to get caught up, roll out. Because if you don't roll out, I can't help you once we start. You understand? He told them to roll out, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. We have mercy on these people because they showed our people kindness, man. Show you that we wasn't no evil, disgusting people, man, like our oppressors of the day. When our oppressors of the day go to war with you, they destroy you and then hate you after they destroy you. Like, why is America so angry and racist against black and brown people? I have no idea. You won. You won. We've been your slaves. You oppress us every day. Why do you still hate us like you hate us when you won? Because like General Yohana and General Muhammad always say, these people that oppress us are sore winners. They're sore winners, man. They done won everything, got everything, and still angry. That's why Make America Great Again makes no goddamn sense, because there was never a time when these people thought America was great. They've always been angry. They've always hated the government. They've always hated the people in America all around them that are not them. And then a lot of them hate them also. They hate their own in America. There's never been a time where these people have been happy. There's never been a time where they felt like America was great, like this is a great land. I hope it go on forever. I hope everybody learn from us. They've never felt like this. So what the hell does Make America Great Again mean? It's nothing. It means it's a fairy tale in their head, because America's never been great, not even to them. So that's just a little sidebar. So getting back to the scripture, 1 Samuel 15, and where we at? We at that's 8. And he took Shalakia. Let's read 7. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. So it was a great land where Amalek was. And the army went to war with Amalek and took the life of a lot of them, unalived a lot of them. And he took Agag, king of Amalek, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. So what did God, the Most High, say? God told him, the God of Israel said, utterly destroy all that they have and spare none of them, right? What did Saul go do? He took Agag, the king of the Amaleks, alive. He was supposed to be unalive. Saul took him alive, man, and then utterly destroyed the rest of the people with the edge of the sword. 9th verse. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep. The Lord said, destroy sheep, ox, all of it, man. But what did Saul do with the people of Israel, the armies that was with him? They took the best of the sheep and did not unalive them. God said to unalive them. They kept them alive. He took the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatling and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. The Lord said to utterly destroy them. Saul would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, that they utterly destroyed. So you see that? In their mind, they said, oh, this is good oxen, man. Good, strong oxen, man. This is the king. So we're going to keep them alive. We're going to keep them alive. But all that other stuff, don't look too good. Let's utterly destroy that. But that ain't what God said. That ain't what the Most High said. He said utterly destroy all of them and everything they got. And everything they got. Reading on. 10. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel, saying, it repenteth me, meaning the Lord regretted it. He was angry. He was angry. It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me. Look how the Lord take it personal, man. He give commandments, and you think you halfway doing them. You halfway doing them, thinking he still love you because of that. He know my heart. God know my heart. He know deep down I'm a good person. I know all this that I do is against him and what he said to do, but he know my heart. He still loves me. That's Christianity, man. That's Christianity. Samuel killed everybody and kept the best of Amalek, the best of the people, which is the king, and the best of their fatlings. And the Lord didn't tell him to do that. And it pissed God off. It pissed the Most High off, man. You understand? Pissed him off. The Lord said he turned his back from following him. That's how the Lord take it. You in the truth, you're halfway. You learn you're Israelite. You learn not to eat pork and shrimp. You learn to do these things, you understand? But you ain't got no problem with physically beating brothers up in your own organization. You call yourself an Israelite and you break the arms of your own members and you think you're a servant of God, huh? You fooling yourself. You turned your back from following the Most High. We're going to get more into it, man. You inviting heathens amongst you to fellowship with you like you want ISUPK to hang with you too. You and your Africans? No, we ain't doing that. We ain't affiliated with you or no other Israelite group. But you take on heathens in your congregation, so-called, in your church, so-called, and you still think you serving the Lord, well, God would say you have turned your back from following him, just like he told King Saul. You understand? And have not performed my commandments. That's what you Christian Israelites do. You halfway in the truth, halfway understand what the Bible say, halfway. You still watching our class trying to get all the way right, but you won't do the thing you have to do to be in the truth, like Christ told that wealthy brother. He said, I followed the law since I was young. A lot of you think that's all you got to do. I don't eat pork. Y'all ain't the only ones with the truth. I follow the laws. Well, Christ told the brother, well, you've done good by following the law. One thing you lack, sell everything that you have and come follow me. Then you're going to get the kingdom. That's what you Christian Israelites are missing. You got to give up all that nonsense in your head, all that craziness that you learn, all the BS that you learn, and you got to come follow Christ in the ISUPK, because we the home of the truth. Since 1969, we the home of the truth. And if you ain't following us, you ain't following Christ. It said that brother walked away sad because he had a lot of wealth. And a lot of you sad when we tell you we don't affiliate with you, and we tell you you ain't in the truth unless you come join us. You sad because you think you got knowledge. You think you got a wealth of knowledge. And so you walk away sad like that brother walked away from Christ, because you think you got enough. You think you got it already. And this last thing, your pride won't let you do it. And Christ said it's easier for a rich man it's easier for a camel's hair to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven. That's manifold. That's manifold. Talking about you, brothers. It's easier to get a thick-ass camel's hair through the eye of a needle than it is to make a lot of you Israelites out there humble yourself and join the ISUPK and learn to call men sir and pay your goddamn tithes. Tithes is corn. Tithes is corn and vegetables. Nigga, you ain't gave us your vegetables or corn. So shut your mouth and follow the order, man. Reading on in 1 Samuel. The Lord said it repenteth him because Saul turned his back from following him. I'm in verse 11 in the middle. And have not performed my commandments, and it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. Because Samuel loved King Saul, man. Samuel loved King Saul like we love a lot of you Christian Israelites, man. We love you, but we see you've turned your back on the Most High, and you won't gather together like the Lord told you under the Spirit of Christ. You understand? Because you think you already got the truth. You think you already got it. You think you good. You think you all right. Well, because we love you in the ISUPK, we cannot hang with you. We cannot hang with you. We cannot so-called fellowship with you. We cannot go to your little functions and whatnot and act like we one and we in the same spirit, because we abstain from the appearance of evil. And a lot of what you guys are doing are evil, man. And we'll get into that some more. Where am I? 12. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up in a place, and is going about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, he saw the prophet, he saw the priest, and said, Blessed be the Lord, blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. You see where Saul's mind was? It's the king of Israel here. He saw the prophet Samuel and said, Blessed be thou of the Lord. Shalom. Yahbashim Yahushua Barakatah. He gave him a salute. Shalom. Lord be with you, Samuel, servant of the Most High. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. Saul, in his mind, thought he did what the Most High said. That's a horrible thing, man. When you walk around talking about shalom, shalom, and you know, we Israelites, but we don't speak no Hebrew because, you know, who speaks Hebrew nowadays? And we don't wear that shield because you believe that lie that the heathen started, that it's the star of Molech or whatever. You understand? You miss all our history about the prophets wearing meat trees. You understand? And having the crown of their head open, having the middle part open, like we do in the ISUPK, and you just don't wear nothing on your head. You understand? It's not a sin not to wear nothing, but, you know, the headpiece was part of our priestly attire. You understand? And then you walk around with shaven heads and shape-ups and haircuts, just like the heathen taught you, man. Just like modern-day Egypt taught you. Get your line-ups and your low haircuts, and when growing our hair was part of our custom, man. A lot of you shave your face clean like a pretty woman because you want to be a pretty man. Because you want to be a pretty man. You understand? Reading on. Where am I at? So King Saul, he told Samuel, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. He thought he did what the Lord said. And Samuel told him in 14, and Samuel said, what meaneth then, if you did what the Lord commanded you, what meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? Samuel had to check him. Oh, you did the Lord's commandments, huh? Oh, you still got the truth, huh? Then how come I still hear the sheep that the Most High told you to kill? How come I still hear the oxen that the Most High told you to kill? How come I hear these things, Saul, if you follow the Lord's commandment, if you're still in the truth? If you still got the truth, then how come you got heathens in your congregation, to you Christian Israelites? How come a lot of you still smoking weed? How come a lot of you doing this? Give me 1 second. Salakia. So how come you still do what Christians do? How come you still break the laws of God like they do in the Christian church if you still got the truth? That's what we pose to you. Well, the prophet Samuel asked Saul that same thing. How come I hear all these animals going on when I shouldn't hear any of them, because the Most High told you to kill them? 16. Then Samuel said unto Saul, stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said. Salakia. Can I skip? I'll skip. He said, what's all this that I hear? The 15th verse. And Saul said, they have bought them from the Amalekites. For the people spared. He blamed the people. He blamed the people. For the people spared the best of the sheep of the oxen, and to sacrifice unto the Most High thy God. Like I did his commandments, Samuel. If you did his commandments, how come I hear sheep and ox when the Lord told you to destroy him, to destroy him? Samuel said, oh, well, the people kept the best of them so that we could sacrifice to the Most High. I'm sure he would like that. King Saul thought he was right. King Saul thought he was doing something wonderful. You understand? He thought he was doing something wonderful. He said he was going to sacrifice. The people kept them so we could sacrifice. Reading on. And the rest we have utterly destroyed. And Samuel said unto Saul, stay here, man. Samuel was sad. Samuel said, stay here, brother. Stay here. And I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, say on. And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thine own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribe of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel. The Lord said, when you was young, man, when you wasn't even ready for it, the Lord made you a king so you can get ready and step into those shoes, man. And step into them shoes like we do when brothers come here to serve the Lord in the ISUPK and they get rank raises and they get more work. You understand? The Lord giving them those rank raises. The Lord giving them that work. You understand? He said what? 18. And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites. Destroy those sinners, man. The Lord is always against sinners, man. And that's why the ISUPK can't affiliate with you other Israelite groups, because we find sin among you. Your own members call us and tell us the dirt you're doing behind closed doors. Them purple LGBTQ cats, that nasty Nathan Bishop, Fanya, all them old purple shirt wearing guys, they tell their congregation, and again, we hear this from their congregation, they tell them for 6 days out of the week, they can do anything they want. Anything. Hoe around, get all type of women, do all type of nastiness, but that Sabbath is their day to be Israelites. That Sabbath is their day. You understand? And why is it easy for them to give that type of order? I'm going to show you in a little bit. My second half of the show, I'm going all up into them. You understand? So Saul, thinking he did the right thing, you understand? He said that Samuel said, the Lord told you, go and utterly destroy all the sinners of Amalek and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord? That's what the prophet want to know. That's what we want to know with you Israelites out here. Why won't you obey the Most High? Why don't you want to be in the spirit of Christ? Why wouldn't you come be brothers with the soldiers at the ISUPK? Ain't no soldiers more brotherly and more in the spirit of Christ than us, man. And we ain't putting on no act. We ain't putting on for no performance. And we sure don't get our orders from the American government like some of you Israelites do. And again, I'm going to bring that out in a minute. You understand? It's Israelites out here looking pretty and acting like they're holier than thou, and they were set up by the government. And we'll get into it. You understand? Where am I? And fight be consumed. Saul asked him again in the 19th verse, wherefore did thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil and did evil in the sight of the Lord, man. Did evil in the sight of the Lord. So not totally destroying these people and unaliving them and their animals and everything that they got, because that was the order from God. Not doing that, you know, he didn't turn himself against the Lord. He didn't turn himself against the Lord. You understand? He said, Samuel said, that is doing evil in the sight of the Lord. 20th verse. And Saul said unto Samuel, yea. He said, no. He said, Con, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord. That's what Samuel, that's what Saul said to the prophet. He said, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord and have gone the way which the Lord sent me. I've done what the Lord said and have bought Agag, the king of Amalek. See, I thought the Lord just wanted us to go to war with them and fight them, and I bought back the king so we can do whatever we want. But he don't realize that God didn't say that. The Most High didn't say, bring back the king so we can deal with him. He said, get rid of all of those sinners, man. All of them. But King Saul said, I did do what the Lord said, Samuel, and I brought back the king and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. I destroyed all the rest of them. I just brought back the king. Saul thought he was doing right too. He thought he was doing right too. And that's another thing. Where I'm at, 21st verse, that's another thing. A lot of you Israelite groups, right? All of you started or learned from ISUPK at one point or another, right? And at some point, you felt as though you didn't like what you see, or some brother did you wrong, and you like a little poop butt said, I'm leaving because I see wickedness. And you left, right? And you left because some brother, one or two brothers treated you wrong. Some brother you thought should have paid you more on an oil table back in the day. Some brother back in the day didn't care when you was in the hospital. So in your mind, nobody cares about you because you're in the hospital and nobody cared for you. We're not women. We're not women when we come to serve Christ, man. We warriors. Stop crying, man. So you left. So you left for whatever reason, and then you started other Israelite groups outside of the ISUPK. A lot of you said, I don't like it here either, and you left that Israelite group and started another Israelite group. And then you said, I don't like it here either, and you left that group to start whatever you're in right now. You understand? So my question to you, because you walk around and you strong believing that you're in the truth, in your mind, you Christian Israelites I'm talking to, in your mind, you was in the truth at first in the ISUPK, and in your mind, it wasn't the truth no more. So you left to start another truth. And then you didn't like that and said, you know what? This ain't the truth either. I'm leaving to start another group, and that's going to be the truth. And then didn't like that group or whatever, and did whatever, and you left that group and joined some other group and said, this is now the truth. Now, my question to you, because you believe in 2023 that you're in the truth now. If in your mind you was wrong about the ISUPK and you left, then you was wrong about your other Yes, the Christian Israelite group that you joined after that, and then you left, and then you was wrong about the third group and the fourth and the fifth. Now, whatever you in right now that you believe is, I got it now and I'm in the truth, isn't, at least in your mind, isn't there a chance that you could be wrong about this too? Is there a chance, at least? I ain't even saying you wrong right now. You Christian, you other Israelite groups out there, outside of ISUPK. What I'm saying that since you was wrong about groups in the past, isn't it at least possible that you could be wrong now? That's my question to all of you. Commander General Yohana, he never put down his sword, he never jumped ship, and he never for a second doubted the truth that he fell in love with. Nor did I, nor did General Mahayman, nor did the generals after us, man. Once we was in the ISUPK, we stayed and been here no matter what device of Satan that tried to stop it or bring it down. That's one thing we could say. We have never been wrong about the truth. But you have admittedly been wrong because you've been through 3 and 4 groups. So now, could you possibly be wrong now? Hell yes. Hell yes, you could possibly be wrong. And now, just to tell you the truth, because I love you, you are wrong. If you're not in the ISUPK, whatever group you in is not the truth. You are not following Christ. I don't care how much your leaders pretend and act. They are leading you down a road that's going to destroy you in the end. Watch my words. Watch my words. If you want to know, just ask a prophet. And you will get the answer. You understand? 21st verse. So Samuel pissed off and he checking him, letting him know, but Saul don't understand the wrong he did. 21st verse, 1 Samuel 15. But the people took of the spoil and the sheep and the oxen, the chief things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. 22. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? That's what Samuel asked King Saul. So you think the Most High is going to be happy because you disobeyed him to sacrifice to him? You disobeyed the Lord's laws and commandments in the Bible to sacrifice unto him? And so a lot of you Israelite groups, you ignore the laws of the Bible and different things around in the Bible. Some you follow, some you don't. You do all that to go out and raise up the nation of Israel? How can you do that? How can you raise the nation of Israel if you're disobeying the voice of the Lord? If you don't even follow the Lord like he said to follow him, man. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. 24. Am I in 24? Salakia, no. 22, reading it again. And Samuel said, have the Lord, because King Saul said, I bought these. I know he said kill everything, but we just bought back the king and all the best of the animals so we could sacrifice to him. Why would he be mad at me if I brought this stuff back to sacrifice to him? Why would the Lord be mad? Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in your burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice. I'm going to read that again. To obey the Lord is better than sacrificing to the Lord. If we obeyed the Most High, we would never have to sacrifice. The reason why we had to sacrifice animals and things back then is because we were sinners. And the Lord loved us so much, he didn't want to destroy us. He gave us a shot to repent and make it right, even through the mercy of Christ. Now, there's no more animal sacrifices. Following Christ is our sacrifice. Doing what he would do is our sacrifice. That's what Bahashem Yahushua means. It doesn't mean like the Christians tell you, if you just say in the name of Jesus, then he gonna love you and you're blessed and sanctified and Holy Ghost filled. In the name of Yahushua, in the name of Jesus, means whatever you doing, whatever you praying for, it should be something that he would accept. that he would be okay with. That's what in the name, meaning in the spirit, in his spirit. Something that he would look at and approve of, man. You can't pray to God that that woman leave her man and get with you. Come on, man. Need your head taken, man. Thank the Lord for the mercy of Christ. You understand? And Saul thought he was doing right, man. Saul thought he was doing right. Samuel had to tell him to obey is better than sacrifice. Reading on, the end of 22. And to hearken than the fat of rams. So the Lord don't care nothing about your sacrificing the best animals and the best things if you can't even obey him. If you can't even do what the hell he's saying, man. 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, man. The sin of witchcraft. And a lot of you Israelite groups, man, who doing things against the Bible and against the people of Israel and cohorting and consorting with heathens, which is against the Most High. Letting heathens marry your sisters, which is against the Most High. Letting heathens be with them and murdering the daughters of Israel, that's against the Most High, man. That's against the Most High. Allowing transsexuals in your organizations, that's against the Most High. Getting high and smoking weed and putting weed in your cookies and cakes and foods like all your sisters in your organization tell us. And it boggles me, how come they stay with you? A lot of them say, well, it's just what I'm used to. You know, when you've been with them for so long, it's just hard to leave. You know where else I heard that at? The Christian church. I talk to Christian members all the time, and I ask them, well, if you see all the mess and you admit it, how come you don't leave? And they say, well, it's like my family. My aunts are there. Everybody's there. So, I just pray to the Lord. I forget what they say. It's something that they say that in their mind means that I got a personal relationship with God. That means even though everything around my church is disgusting and evil and sinning against God and definitely contrary to what the Bible says, because I got a personal relationship with God, I can still be here and be around them and see all this evil, and God still accepts me. That's a lie. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. And there's going to come a time when Christ returns, he's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. That's in the Bible. Out of his own mouth, he's going to say, depart from me, for I never knew you. That's what he's going to say. Well, in 1 Samuel 15 and 23, the Lord said, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Disobeying what God said to do something that you think he meant or that you think is better. Like, that's what Saul is saying. What I did is better than what the Lord told me. The Lord told me kill Amalek, all of them. TikTok. The Lord told me to unalive or take the life of the Amalekites in the Bible. We read in the Bible. That's what the Lord told me. But I decided bringing the king back was better than what the Lord said. The Lord told me to get rid of the ox and the sheep and the fatlings and all the animals, to utterly destroy them. That's what God said. But you know what? Instead of that, I think it's better to bring the best of the animals here to sacrifice to the Most High. King Saul thought his thoughts were better than the Most High. That is rebellion, man. That is rebellion. He thought that the spirit he was in was better than the spirit of God and the prophets, man. And you Israelites outside of the ISUPK, you think the spirit you in, the way you teach, your doctrine, your thoughts about things is better than what the Most High and Christ set up in the ISUPK in 1969. Well, you, just like King Saul, are in for a rude goddamn awakening. Trust me. Trust me, man. You in for a rude awakening, and it's only a matter of time. The Lord said he is patient, man. The Lord said he is patient with you sinners, man. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft and stubbornness. And that's why a lot of you too proud to come join the ISUPK and start over from day one, because you are stubborn and full of pride. And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And that's what you are. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. That's what the prophet, aka the Most High, told King Saul. That's what he told King Saul, man. He told King Saul that. You understand? We got to be very careful, man. And that's why Commander Junior Hanna has taught us to be careful in this school, in the ISUPK. We careful about who we friends with. We careful about who you buddies with, because that is important. That is important, man. If I'm driving and I see some crowd, some event going by, and I roll down my window and see what this about, and I see a Israelite in a crowd full of LGBT, and they holding signs, LGBTQ rights matter, and this and that, with tying their shirts, letting their neighbors show this the men wearing Daisy Dukes, you understand? And you got your Israelite gear on, but you standing in the midst of them, even though you're not holding a sign. You know what I'm gonna think about you, right? You know what I'm gonna think about you, right? A lot of you think you're doing the right thing. A lot of you think you're supposed to be fellowshipping with every Israelite out there. But the ISUPK, we can't be seen around you because people might think we get high. People might think we support the LGBTQ community. People might think that we are sinners against the Most High God of Israel. So no, we cannot be affiliated with you. And if you're mad, then that's on you. We warn you. You better come and get down with us and start following our rules, man, because we are the home of the truth. We are the ones that the Most High God of Israel set up in the spirit of his only begotten son, our black king, Yahweh Shai, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. Again, I done been saying this for 30 years. It's damn near, damn near, I feel like it's people looking at me like, here he go again. Well, I'm going to keep saying it because it's still the truth, and it ain't getting in your thick-ass heads, man. It's not getting through your damn craniums. And again, we the watchmen trying to warn you. So when the Lord does unalive you or destroy you in an even more horrible way, because there are things a lot worse than unaliving on this earth that the Lord could put you through. When that happens to you, I can know my hands are clean of the blood. General Yohana's hands will be clean of the blood, man. Soldiers of the ISUPK, our hands are clean. Because we've been trying to tell you, man. We can't force you. What they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You understand? We show you the truth, and we tell you the truth all day long. I can't make you love the Lord. I can't make you to love yourself and your family enough to follow the Lord. Now I want to go to Numbers 22 and 20. The book of Numbers, 22nd chapter and the 20th verse. Reading. And the Most High, give me 1 second. Salaki, y'all. I just made a water request. I'm a little thirsty. Forgot to get my water. So where we at? Numbers 22 and 20. The 20th verse reads, and the Most High came into Balaam at night. Balaam was an Israelite. He was an Israelite, but one of them rebellious Israelites that lived outside of Israel, lived around the heathens, you understand, and said unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up. Now I'm going to repeat that again because that's important. The Most High came to this brother, Balaam, at night and said, this is what he said unto him, if the men come to call thee, because you had Moab and the heathens trying to get him to go speak to Israel. They called it curse. They said, can you come and curse these people? Because they're going to end up fighting against us. They were scared that Israel was coming. The Lord was moving Israel, and Israel was conquering wherever they went in the spirit of the Most High. So these heathens were afraid, and they knew this guy was an Israelite, but he knew he wasn't in the congregation. So they asked him, they worded it like, go curse these people so that, they won't fight against us. And what he meant by that word curse was go speak to him. Go do a Al Sharpton to them. Go do a Reverend Jesse Jackson to them. Go do a Martin Luther King to them. Speak to these people and tell them it's okay to be friends with us. Tell them it's okay to be good to us. They shouldn't hurt us. They should integrate with us. They should be friends with us. That's the curse that they wanted this brother to say to Israel. But then the Lord came to him and said, you better not do that because these people are blessed. When you read up ahead before 20, the Lord said, don't do that. So he told them, well, I can't do that. The Lord said, I can't. And they said, please, can you do this and do that? He said, well, I'll see this night. I'll see what the Lord want me to do. And so now we at the 20th verse, the water. So now we at the 20th verse. And I'm reading again. And the Most High came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, this is what the Lord said, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shall ye do. So you hear what the Lord said. And a brother had a question to this in one of the classes. I hope, he see this eventually. You know what I'm saying? He had a question because the next verse, let me show you his question. 21, and Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. 22, and God's anger was kindled because he went. And the brother's question was, if the Lord told him to go, why was the Lord mad at him? Why was the anger of the Lord kindled? Now, before I answer that, I'd like you to type in what y'all think the answer is. What y'all think the answer is. I'm going to read the end of 22, then I'm going to go back to 20, and I'm going to break it down. So, and God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. So this is that story, that famous story, or when the ass wouldn't go where the brother wanted him to go because the Lord was blocking the ass, and he hit the ass. And then tried to make the ass go where he wanted him to go. But the angel of the Lord was standing, and the ass saw him. The donkey saw him. So the donkey went away from the angel of the Lord, and the brother didn't see him and hit the donkey again. And then they tried to make the donkey go this way again. But the donkey saw the Lord, the angel of the Lord, and ran the other way, and the cat hit him again. And the Lord put the spirit on the donkey to talk and asked the brother, why the hell you hit me these 3 times, man? The Lord is stopping you. And then the Lord opened the brother's eyes, and he saw that the angel of the Lord was blocking the way. But getting back to these verses, it says, I don't see any answers yet. I guess y'all don't know. Y'all can give it a shot. You ain't got to be embarrassed either if it's not correct. Numbers 22 and 20. And the Lord came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shall ye do. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went. Why was God angry with Balaam? Why was the Lord? He told the brother, if the men come to you to call thee, rise up and to go with them. You understand? He told him that. And then when he rose up in the morning, he saddled his ass and he went with these heathens, right? But the Lord was angry because he went. I'm going to give y'all a couple more seconds if anybody want to try to type in an answer. Why was the Lord angry with Balaam when he went with these heathens? Anybody? Let me see on TikTok. I don't see any answers on TikTok either. All right, I'm going to give it to you. The reason why the Lord was angry with him was the same reason why he was angry with Saul. He told Saul something, and Saul went and did another thing. You understand? With the other brother, because the man he followed were heathens. And that's not why. He wasn't upset with him because they were heathens. But the water, your thumb, for giving it a shot. He wasn't mad at them because they were heathens. I'll give y'all a couple more seconds. I'm gonna read it again from the top. Numbers 22 and 20. And the Most High came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, if the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shall ye do. Meaning the Lord told him, if they come to ask you, if they ask you to go with them, then he said, go with them. He said, rise up and go with them. And then I'm explaining to you what to do from there. So the morning came, and he saddled his ass, and he went with Moab. What did the brother do wrong? Well, what he did wrong, the Lord told him specifically, if the men come to call thee, if they call you and invite you to come with them, then you go to them, and I'm going to direct you from there. The morning came, nobody called this brother, nobody asked him. He took it upon himself to saddle his ass and to go with Moab. And just to picture the scene, remember how we were living back then. Our homes were like tents all over the place, especially when we was on the move and different things. So they were tents and homes. He get up in the morning, go out and saddle his ass and saddle, the animals, and the rest of so that Moab sees him doing that and be like, all right, so they saddle their ass and they saddle their different things. And this brother gets on the ass and they get on their asses and they start leaving, and he go leave with them. Yet he wasn't called. He wasn't called. The Lord told him, all right, from this point, if men come to call thee, then you go with them. He took it upon himself to go with them without being called. So that's why the Lord was angry. That's why the Lord was blocking his way. Acts 5 and 29, it said that then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. And that's very important, man. We got to obey God rather than man. And when it say man, it ain't talking about men of God, because if men of God tell you to do something, you better damn well do it. That's in the Bible. It's talking about men that do not serve God, men that are outside the spirit of the Most High in Christ. And that's anybody outside of the ISUPK, including your own damn self. You Israelites out there that go into your own mind thinking you right and this right, obey God rather than your own damn self, because you the man that is talking about not to obey. Don't go into your own mind and your own damn thoughts, man. You go into your own mind. You understand? And you halfway serve the Lord. Again, how can we join you or be brothers with you and be amongst you in your little congregation when you doing things outside of what the Bible said? We can't do it, man. We can't do it. You halfway. We in the truth too. Because I smoke a little weed. Weed is a vegetable. It's of the earth. Some of you even go to far to say, I don't smoke it. I put it in the food. Weed is like a vegetable. It's from the earth, like it say in Genesis. You put it in your food trying to get high. We didn't heard about you, man. A lot of you say if I lay down and have sex with a heathen, it's not marriage because it's a heathen. Well, the Lord said you ain't supposed to give your seed to them, man. You ain't supposed to marry them, which is what sex is. Marriage, the definition of marriage is a union. How do you unite for a marriage? Through sexual intercourse. It's in the Zondervan Dictionary. Marriage is a union, a coming together sexually. So if you come together sexually with a heathen, that is marriage. It's just a modern day word for union. It's just a modern day word for union, man. And a lot of you doing all these things that's against the Bible. A lot of you hurting Israelites also, man. You harming Israelites because they in the world. When we ain't supposed to harm them. A lot of you don't even, you claim you don't believe in the New Testament. You only believe in the Old Testament. Well, the Old Testament say put LGBTQ to unalive them. The Old Testament say to unalive a lot of different things that people do. You ain't going around unaliving them. So real why? And when we ask you why, you say because we under grace. And that's our black king in the New Testament or New Covenant. Because he gave mercy to Israel to give us enough time to get right with him, man. And the only place to really, really get right with the Most High in Christ is in the ISUPK. Y'all better get with it. A lot of you out here, you in the middle. You in the middle. You waiting to see what happens. Well, you lukewarm. You see the evil that these Israelites is doing out here. You see the wrong that they doing. A lot of you leave out or they kick you out because you see the evil and you speak up on it. Then they kick you out. Then you make a video talking about all the evil you done seen all these years and you sorry for being a part of it. Now you sorry, huh? Well, that's fine. It ain't too late yet. Our king ain't back. Repent. And you need to come in here and apologize to the ISUPK and start from day one. Get your spirit right. Revelation 3:15 says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold or hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. The Lord prefer that you either be in the truth or be in the world. Don't act like you halfway Israel. You follow some laws, you do this and you do that. Like you a half Israelite. The Lord said he wished that you was cold or hot, in the truth or in the world. But a lot of you halfway faking, stepping, half-stepping being Israelites, man. 16th verse. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth, man. That's what the Lord said in the book of Revelation. He gonna spew you out of his mouth. And a lot of y'all gonna learn the hard way, straight up. A lot of y'all gonna learn the hard way. Now, getting to Nasty Nate and his group of purple LGBT false prophets and crooked cops. Getting to them. Nasty Nate, right? Let me pull it up. Let me get it up. Here. All right. Let me pull this up so everybody can see. Be patient with me. All right. This ain't the one. That's the one. All right. Can everybody see this? Let me make it full screen. Everybody can see this, man. Let me get rid of the banner. Salakia. All right. Everybody sees this, right? This is Nasty Nate. IUIC leader, Nathaniel Ben Israel, retired NYPD officer Nathaniel Ray. That's his name. That's his name, Winnie the Police. You understand? Winnie the Police, that's his name. Listen, this brother here, the leader of IUIC, the purple LGBTQ, we call him crooked cops because he is a crooked cop. He is a crooked cop, and not only the crooked cop, he is an agent set up by intelligence agencies in America, man. They recruited this cat back in the day. And ever since he joined, when he first joined in 1990, he joined the ISUPK. He was a cop back then, giving up intelligence on ISUPK and all of Israel. You understand? And I'll go into it. But first, I'm going to read this report just to show you that the man was a crooked cop. You understand? So now, it says, if you see the circle part, let me see. If you see this circle part, I'm going to read from the beginning. On July 2nd in 2015, a New York federal court, and listen, this 2015, this is when he went to court. He was already Israel and everything. You understand? And they finally settled this judgment for him, framing these two brothers many years before. It said it was a judgment for $250,000 each in favor of the two black men. Black men. Why black cops? They end up doing the same thing that white cops do and harm and frame and murder black men and black people, man. I have never, and I tried to interview police, but they don't want to get an interview. I'm going to get a couple on Monday that's willing to do an interview, and I'm going to ask them at the end of my questioning, how many times have you ever seen a black cop use excessive force or murder an unarmed white person? And the answer is obviously going to be no. Why? Because black cops never hurt white people that are white people or murder them. It just doesn't happen. But they do brutalize black and Hispanic people just like the white cops does. They do that. You understand? So these brothers was awarded $500,000, man. $500,000. 2 black men who were falsely arrested for 2 armed robberies and spent 11 months in jail. The court also awarded $250,000 in attorney's fees in this Civil Rights Act. So over $500,000, because they each got $250,000, then an extra $250,000 for the attorney's fees. So that's $750,000 that this crooked cop and his buddies cost the NYPD. You understand? Malik Sanders and Corey Phillips were the other crooked cops that worked with this cat. I'm going to jump down. Let me jump down so I can read it. It says, police maintain, Salakia, let me go down. NYPD Detective Nathaniel Ray, which is Nasty Nate of the IUIC, of Sanders and Phillips, coach witnesses to identify them. So Nasty Nate and a couple of other crooked cops, they coached the witnesses, man, against these brothers. They coached them. What type of man, you know what I'm saying? And you supposed to, love Israel, right? And be about Israel when he coached witnesses against these innocent 2 brothers, man. These innocent brothers. It says they coach witnesses. Now, once again, we're going to read the scriptures on this. How can you think you a leader of an Israelite nation raising up black and brown people who are the Israelites when part of your personality is to have no problems with framing black men, falsely accusing black men? These are the court papers. These are the facts. It said the NYPD detective Nathaniel Ray, Nasty Nate of the IUIC, allegedly manipulated lineups to force the identification of Sanders and Phillips, and they coached witnesses to identify them. They coached witnesses. They coached them. Now, it said some of the witnesses did and some did not. Some lied and some didn't. It said police officer Michael Rackenbrandt, who had walked in on one of the robberies and torn a piece of the hood of the robbers, the actual robbers, during the struggle, he falsely identified these 2 innocent brothers as the robbers, man. And they were indicted. They were arrested. This is what they did. They falsely accused these brothers, lied to the witnesses and manipulated the witnesses just so they could get a conviction on their belt. Just so they could get a conviction on their belt, man. How evil is that? How evil is that, man? Disgusted. You understand? And listen, that's the mark of the beast. I know we've been teaching it and we ain't been on it for years because I'm assuming everybody understand what it is. Once upon a time, you Christian Israelites out there thought the mark of the beast was some microchip they're going to force in your hand to pay for your groceries. Well, I got news for you. That's been out. It's called a credit card. There's a chip in that credit card, and that's how you pay for your groceries. There's a chip in them debit cards and bank cards. You understand? But that is not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is learning the system of this beast, believing in the culture of this beast, let me read the scripture first. Revelation 14:9. And the 3rd angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship this beast is the Edomites in America, man. This beast is our oppressor, the most subtle beast of the field. His precepts in Ezekiel and in Genesis and in Revelation that prove that, man. They are the beast and the most subtle beast of the field, meaning the most sneaky, conniving beast on this earth. You understand? it said, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image. What's his image? His image is that Caesar Borgia, the Caucasian rendition of what they teach to be Jesus Christ, the image of Jesus Christ in America. Caesar Borgia, that painting that Leonardo da Vinci painted by orders of the Catholic Church. That's the image of the beast. Christianity, in other words. Christianity is the image of the beast. If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The forehead is worshiping Christianity and that beast, that image, and believing in their system, in their culture, these holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Easter, Memorial Day, President's Day, all the holidays under this beast that oppresses us. You have the mark of the beast in your forehead. Even birthdays. Birthdays come from this beast, the celebrations of them, how wonderful they are. That's worshiping yourself instead of worshiping the Most High. That's idolatry, self-worship. You understand? That was never a custom of Israel. You understand? So if anybody worship the beast in his image and receive the mark in his forehead or in his hand. How do you receive the mark of the beast in your hand? When you do actions supporting the customs and system of this beast, like hurting black and brown people being police officers, hurting black and brown people being his military, hurting them while working for this government, being a politician, backing up laws that hurt black and brown people. Anything you do physically, hurting the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, you have the mark of the beast in your hands. And framing two black men and trying to manipulate the witnesses against them and coercing the witnesses against these innocent black men, lying on these innocent black men, that is having the mark of the beast in your hand. And because they got it, because Nasty Nate and IUIC had the mark of the beast in his hand, of course he has it in his head. Because he was taught to be this way. He was taught to be against black and brown people by who? None other than our oppressor. None other than our oppressor. And when you could frame black people, you understand our oppressor loves you because they know you work for them and you committed to them because you're willing to go against your own people for the beast. You understand? It said, okay, in his hand, in his forehead or in his hand, the same, this is the 10th verse of Revelation 14, the same shall drink of the wine and of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, meaning this is straight. It ain't no chaser in this wrath from the Most High. A lot of times you pour some drink and it's strong. It's strong. So you chase it to weaken it a little bit. The Lord said this wrath that he bringing ain't going to be no mixture, no chaser with this. It's going to be 180 proof of wrath that the Lord bringing without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. This is what they got to look forward to, man. This is what anybody claiming to be an Israelite, yet harming black people and teaching lies against black people, this is what they got to look forward to. Listen, Luke 3:12. This is what our king said. This is in Luke 3:12 says, then came also publicans. Publicans are people that work for the government. So in Israel, we had people working for the government, just like we do in 2023. You're a city worker, you work for the tax company, you work for damn Philadelphia, famous for these damn the parking authority. They work for the city and they walk around and hit you with fines and all type of money because you in a store an extra 2 minutes. Or you try to dip in a store and leave your car, ain't nowhere else to park. You need to get in the store. They hit you with all type of fines. They got a whole show about it called Parking Wars, man. Taxing black people, man. Poor people. Taxing poor people trying to make it and hitting them with them fines, man. That's a law created for oppression. For oppression. You understand? It said, then came also publicans to be baptized. And he said unto and said unto him, Master, what shall we do? They talking to Yahushua. They knew he was the king. They knew he was the Messiah. And they know they working for the beast. They work for the Romans. But they wasn't trying to hurt black people at least. So they asking him, what should we do? You know what I'm saying? We publicans, we work for the Romans. 13. And he said unto them, exact no more than that which appointed you. Meaning just do your jobs. If your job is this, just do it. Don't go overboard. Don't fall in love with your job. It's a lot of these parking authority people, man, they scheming and doing all type of things to get you, man. Doing all type of things, sitting back, see you pull up, watch you go in, watch you step out the damn car for a second. They see you look around, you don't see them, and you dip in that store and they hurry up. They writing the ticket as they coming over. So by the time they get to your car, they put it on and disappear. You come out 3 minutes later like, God damn, where the ticket come from? You looking around, who the hell put the ticket on my car? Because they being sneaky about it. They going above and beyond. I've seen some of them. Some of them, they'll see you and be like, hey, man, you ain't supposed to park there. I was going to write you a ticket, but since you're here, you go ahead, man. You just, you ain't supposed to park here. You got to check out the signs. You know what I'm saying? And they're a little more merciful. But a lot of them, like this old nasty native IUIC, they go above and beyond for this beast to get you. To get you. Christ said, exact no more than that which is appointed to you. Don't go overboard on your people, man. Do your job and go to hell home. A lot of you join the goddamn teams of these slaveries that you on, these jobs that you on. You joining the company teams and hanging out with these people, man, with these oppressors. 14th verse. And the soldiers likewise demanded of him. These are the soldiers. These are the actual police. And the military, the soldiers demanded him, saying, and what shall we do? We work for the Romans and we got to enforce their rules and their laws. And he said unto them, this is what our king told them, do violence to no man. Do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely. So how could nasty, crooked cop Nathaniel of the IUIC be a prophet and priest or bishop or whatever of Israel, raising up the tribes of Jacob like God said, when our king told us we are not supposed to accuse any falsely? And that's exactly what he did, working for the beast. That's exactly what he did. And many witnesses that come out of that purple group say that, man, this dude, when he left the ISUPK, he joined a group called the 12 Tribes. And then from there, he left and started the IUIC. And they said one common thing with this dude, and this is several witnesses, man, said one common horrible evil thing about this dude is he always sowed discord. He always sowed discord. They say if he wanted to come against you and turn the congregation against you, if he knew you was going to bring up some facts about him or what wrongs he done, they said he would get up before you and set the congregation up and tell them what you about to hear from this guy is this and this and this and this. But it's a lie because of this and this. And he would defend himself even before the accusations come out about him, man. And they say he was real good at that and turning brothers against each other who might expose him. You understand? And that comes from working for Esau and working for these intelligence agencies and being the police and getting your orders to be against black and brown people, which all police get. They get orders to go against black and brown people. Nasty Nate, he's pretty good at that. He's pretty good at acting. He's pretty good at acting like an Israelite and acting like a good guy. But meanwhile, he go give his reports to his handlers in these intelligence agencies. A lot of you heard of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. A lot of you heard of the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. A lot of you heard of the NSA, that's the National Security Agency. And they also got the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agencies. All of these are different agencies, intelligence agencies that are created to observe any threat to America that America deems a threat. They got these groups to set up little subgroups and get sub people and recruit people to go into any organizations that they think is a threat against America and just get intelligence. Intelligence meaning information. And they go, and a lot of them join these groups, like they did the Black Panthers, like they did the Green Berets. Listen to this video, man. I got a video with Judge Joe Brown. Some of you familiar with him, right? This is Judge Joe Brown. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see if I could even get it up. It's a good video, but I don't know if I'm able to play it here. Let me see. Oh, man, I don't think they're going to let me. How can they do it? All right, I'm gonna try to see if y'all can hear the audio. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to play it loud. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear the audio. When I play this, give me the ones to let me know if y'all can hear the audio.
What changed with the blacks to make them fight so much and so much violence?
Can y'all hear
this? 1965, it dropped way down. For an 18-month period between August 1965 and the end of that time period, there were only 2 black-on-black homicides in L.A.
All right, most I'm correct.
And if I recall correctly, that was...
This is Judge Joe Brown, and he's being interviewed by that cat, Jesse Lee, you know what I mean, who be cutting these Christians and proving that they hypocrites. So he's interviewing Judge Joe Brown, and this is what Judge Joe Brown is saying.
There's 2 ladies shot the men in their lives because they thought they were running around on them. The bird
started over. He's asking Joe Brown's about the violence among black people back in the 60s. And when did we get so violent with each other? And Joe Brown said there was a time back then that there was no violence amongst black and brown people. That all the crime and everything went down when we started to unite and come together. He said there was only 2 murders in the entire area, at least where he was from in L.A., and that was 2 black women who had killed their husbands for so-called cheating on them. You understand?
Change with the blacks to make them fight so much and so much violence?
Well, 1965, it dropped way down. For an 18-month period between August 1965 and the end of that time period, there were only 2 black-on-black homicides in L.A. And if I recall correctly, that was 2 ladies shot the men in their lives because they thought they were running around on them. The burglaries dropped to 0. The robberies dropped to 0. The rapes dropped to 0. The assaults dropped down to practically nothing.
Like between black and brown people, we was at peace with each other back then.
Because nobody was mad. But 1968, 69, it's...
Listen close. He just said 1968 and 1969. ISUPK just happened to be set up by the Most High in Christ in 1969. He said during those years, something happened with the peace that black and brown people had. Something happened. Listen.
Started going back up. 68, 69, it started going back up because the FBI, LAPD's SIS unit.
FBI, LAPD, SIS.
And other of these alphabet entities.
He said these alphabet entities, CIA, these alphabet entities saw the peace that was going on. He said all of a sudden the violence started happening amongst black and brown people. And he said it was because, and he started naming these groups, a few of these groups.
Back up because the FBI, LAPD's SIS unit and other of these alphabet entities were infiltrating the black.
He said they infiltrated, and that's what they do. These intelligence agencies, CIA, FBI, SIS, all of them, man, their job is to infiltrate like they did the Black Panthers, the Green Berets. But he gonna say something heavy while he's saying this. Listen to what he's saying.
Yes, unit and other of these alphabet entities
Alphabet
were infiltrating the black movement, the Hispanic or brown beret movement, Native American movement.
Now that is heavy. Joe Brown just said they were infiltrating the black movement, the Green Beret movement, and he said the Native Indian movement, man. The Native movement. Why those three? Why those three? Whenever you hear black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, there's only one place you hear it. There's only one reason you hear it, because we're talking about the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. Why are these alphabet groups set up? Why did they infiltrate us? Why did they infiltrate the nation of Israel? Because we are a threat to them. We are a threat to them. And the ISUPK, we are non-violent threat to them, because our king and the Bible said to be non-violent, to use our mouth and the spirit of the Lord to raise up these 12 tribes, man. That's why. And they can't arrest us. They can't do anything, because we're not criminals. We're not criminals, but we are raising up these 12 tribes. And Joe Brown brought it up. He said the FBI, CIA, and the rest of them, these alphabet groups, they infiltrated the black groups, the Green Beret groups, who are our Hispanic and Latino brothers, and the Native American groups.
The FBI, LAPD's SIS unit and other of these alphabet entities were infiltrating the black movement, the Hispanic or brown beret movement, Native American movement. And there was a lot of treacherous internal stuff going on. And
he said there was a lot of treacherous internal stuff going on. Why? Because they set up what's called a task force, and they set up their agents to join these type of groups and collect intelligence or information. And then once they have their meetings, like it say in Psalms, the 83rd chapter, they have crafty counsel against our hidden ones. They determine we're going to now start counterintelligence programs. And what is counterintelligence? It's taking the information or the intelligence that they know about the Israelite world, and to now let's start implanting information and implanting things where we can destroy these groups. That's why Joe Brown just said there was internal conflicts, because that's what these agents do. They put our own people within our groups to try to start crime within our groups. Let's take guns. Let's go do this with the guns. We should sell some dope to raise some money. Man, we should sell heroin, but you know what? We ain't gonna sell it to our own people. Let's go sell it to the man. Let's go sell it to the man. Let's go rob stores, and nobody got to know we doing it to raise up our people. You cannot commit crime and be criminals in Esau's kingdom thinking you're going to raise up Israel in this kingdom. This is his kingdom, man. That's why Christ didn't do certain things, man. That's why he told Peter when he cut off the ear of that servant, he said, this ain't my kingdom, man. It ain't my time yet. Because if it was, then would my servants fight? Hell, if this was Christ's kingdom, we'd all get it on. Ain't no problem with that. But right now, we got specific orders on how to raise up these tribes and what not to do. You understand? And now they send in, these intelligence agencies, they send their spies and different things inside of black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian groups that's trying to unite. And they start trouble. And that nasty Nate of the IUIC, that half a woman, he started trouble in every group he was in. Witnesses came out that used to roll with him for years. And they said he was always sowing discord, man. And that is the job of these intelligence agencies, to sow discord. Let me finish this up.
the Hispanic or Brown Beret movement, Native American movement. And there was a lot of treacherous internal stuff going on, and people started turning against each other, and
that was it, man. He said then black people started turning against each other, man. Then things got bad and the crime went up. Why? Because this government wants us to be criminals. They get rich when we criminals. From the police officer in his overtime to the courts, the judges, the DAs, the public defenders, all of them, the prisons, the COs, the wardens, everybody's pockets get fat when we become criminals. And as long as we criminals and sinning against God, they ain't got nothing to worry about. With us raising up to be a strong nation, they ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm going to read what a task force is. What is the role of a task force? It said a task force role is to study and research. Study and research may be the sole purpose of a task force. And that's what they do. They send agents or spies or whatever you want to call them. And they become members of these groups. And that's why the ISUPK, General Yohana always told me, we ain't never got to worry about no spies up in here. Because you best believe they sending spies everywhere, even in the ISUPK. Listen, a brother in our school admitted and told us, said it in one of our councils, said the FBI approached him and knew that, he might have been struggling a little bit, said, listen, we'll give you a job, we'll help with your daughter, we'll do this and do that. We just need you to feed us the information on what goes on inside of there. And this brother said, well, in order to do that, I got to get permission from my generals. I ain't just doing that without them knowing. I'm gonna get permission from my generals, and he came and reported it to us, and we did a whole class on it, man. And he stood up and admitted it to the brothers, man. You understand? So we ain't got to worry about agents up in our school because once again we are not criminals. You understand? And if anybody come up in our school trying to do something outside of what we done taught or change our doctrine or try to implement some criminal act or some cancerous act that's against the Most High, we stomp it out quickly. I pray you understand. We stomp it the hell out quickly. Everything gets back to us. All of our brothers on security. Hell, we even got sisters on security in the ISUPK. Sisters make a call and say, I heard this brother say this. I heard this brother say that. I heard these sisters talking in their little group trying to start a first wives group. A first wives group. We hear it all. And we stomp it the hell out. Anything that's out of the spirit. Anything that ain't in the spirit of Yahushua. We stomp it the hell out. So the FBI, CIA, SIS, the NSA, the DIA, they ain't got a chance with their little spies in our school because we ain't letting none of that shit go. We ain't letting none of it ride. You understand? We all on security in our school. And we ain't playing that. Brotherhood is our rock. Brotherhood is our rock. So ain't going to be no discord sown amongst us. Or it'll get stomped out very quick. We'll kick you the hell out of here if General Yohana allow me to. I'll kick you the hell out of here and you go join IUIC because that's where the evil and the discord is. Then you could do whatever you want for 6 days. They just asked it on the Sabbath. You pretend to be an Israelite. Go join them purple punks, man. Go join that LGBTQ community. You understand? But it ain't gonna ride here. Once again, test if you will. A task force job is to study and research. It says study and research may be the sole purpose of a task force, which it is. Intelligence, collecting intelligence. After the research is completed, the task force presents the information to the person or group requesting it. That's Esau. That's Esau. These little spies come in, black organizations, Hispanic organizations, Israelite organizations. They collect information to see how our world is ran. And they've been started this a long time ago, 1969. They've been doing this, man. They've been observing us and watching us. Hell, the police told us one time, he said, don't tell nobody, but you know what I'm saying? We don't say no names. They said, listen, we got a whole room dedicated to y'all. We got a whole room dedicated to y'all with every one of your names on the board. So if you join the ISUPK, just know they know your name, they know your family, they know where you live. But once again, you better not be no goddamn criminal, and they'll have nothing to touch you on. They'll have nothing to touch you on. You a priest of the Most High, represent him well, and Yahushua. So it said the task force, once they get a reports, once they see what these Israelites do that, they do this, and this is how they do. They don't like this. They don't like that. Once they give all the information to Esau, which Nasty Nate does, or the ISUPK, he go report to his Edomite handlers. It says other task forces may be asked to develop recommendations based on the research of a previous group. So then they form other groups of task forces, and they decide, okay, we know they do this, we know they don't do that. How can we stop this? How can we further monitor this? What can we do to disrupt this? We don't like this thing that they're doing. We don't like all this unity and all this and that, because then they could become strong. Just like they said in Egypt, if we let them alone, they're going to grow in number. I'm paraphrasing. And they could join our enemy and fight against us. Just like they said in Egypt, America's modern day Egypt, and they think the same way. They don't want you to unite, black man. They surely don't want you to unite with your Hispanic brothers and sisters. They surely don't want you to unite with your Native American brothers and sisters. If the 12 tribes unite, it's going to scare America to death. So they've always had these spies and these intelligence agents that look just like us, to join different groups and to disrupt these groups, man. And I believe Nasty Nate of the IUIC has had his hand in disrupting a lot of these Israelite groups like GMS and probably them 12 tribes that you barely hear about, the House of David and all them, because he couldn't disrupt the ISUPK. He probably tried. That's why our heads, Lord be with them, at some point didn't get along with each other because of agents like Nasty Nate. But thanks be to God for Commanding General Yohana, because they wasn't able to get him. They wasn't able to turn him because he wasn't greedy for money. He wasn't greedy for power. He wasn't greedy for none of that. Hell, when it was me, him, and Mahiaman going to D.C. and Baltimore and different places trying to keep the ISUPK alive and keep this truth going, when everybody left, Commander General Yohana did not want to be called Commanding General. He did not want to collect tithes. Brothers that we were teaching was trying to give us tithes because they knew we had the truth. And Commander General Yohana turned down the tithes back then. Now, I looked at him like he was crazy because we was living off our goddamn paychecks. I got laid off. And so my little unemployment, I was taking half that, and we'd hop in the car. Gas, toll, food. We was living off of oodles and noodles, man. If we was blessed that weekend, we was able to get some hot dogs or a bag of vegetables with it. You understand? That's how we was living when we met Shawamar and Katham and Kubal and Captain Shapar Napash and Mashat and Tahawar. You understand? Tazariya. We was living real low because we was just trying to keep the Lord, keep this truth alive, man, and wasn't having nobody stop it. And he didn't even want the authority. He didn't even want the tithes. But we had to tell him, man, in the spirit of the Most High in Christ, he has to claim his title, or the enemies will act, or will convince the people that they're the guys, and it'll destroy Israel. So he knew what he had to do, man. He knew he had to claim the title. He knew he had to collect the tithes, like the scriptures say. He knew he had to build these schools. He knew he had to go on mission to build these camps. And here we are today, man. Here we are today, and he was the perfect man for it because he is not a thief. He won't steal your money. All he care about is you and your bills and your welfare. That's all he care about. And he made brotherhood our foundation, man, and I thank him for it. I thank him for it. But once again, these spies and these task forces, they tried to destroy the ISUPK, and they try to destroy the whole world of Israel. That's why they think being with heathens is okay. That's why they think getting high and doing drugs is okay. That's why they think you can be a sinner for 6 days, but on the Sabbath, you can pretend like you're an Israelite. That's why they wear purple and march through neighborhoods to trick the people. To trick the people. Like those heathens told Balaam to go curse Israel, to go speak to them and convince them that everything is all right. Go lie to them, in other words. And that's what nasty, disgusting, crooked cop Nate of the IUIC and a few of his cronies that's sitting up there with him, they probably know he's an intelligence agency. They probably been hired too. But I know the congregation of purple. Most of you purples, you don't even know who you're working with. That's why when they kick you out, when you see something wrong and you speak on it, they kick you out. And then you make a video and say, well, I knew they was wrong and I was part of it. I'm sorry. Even now, you don't understand who you was working for. You don't understand why they had these things going on. Let me play this video real quick for y'all, man. Let me play this video and then I'm going to go on. This is heavy. This is about 7 minutes, but I'm going to play the whole thing. I'm going to play the whole thing. Check out what this brother's saying. All right. Full screen. Check out what he's saying.
Brothers, I can't, because I've known a lot of y'all, and I spent 7 years at IOIC. So I listen, there's no reason for me to lie about anything. It just doesn't.
He was with these cats 7 years.
Lie. It still doesn't justify me though. That I said these things. So
and he feels bad because he was given orders from the top to do little spy things against Israelite groups, little secret agent, intelligence agent spy things against Israelite groups. Now he feels bad.
You know, I'm sorry. Anybody else that so here is Officer, well, at that time he was an officer of 50, Isaac, telling me once again, to this time it was to make it against ex-sister Gina, and call her. He said, make sure you call her ranting Rachel to bipolar Betty.
So it said former IUIC member admits to having a black ops division and making propaganda against the ISUPK. That's what this is about. And here he bringing out how they used to do things against their ex-members too. Members that they didn't like, who might have been saying things about them. They would send some of their little black ops groups against them and said, make sure you call her ranting Rachel, the bipolar Betty. That's some old cop narrative. Police do that. When you get on the news and they show a black picture of some brother that did something, remember, they always bring out how he used to smoke weed or he did this. They bring out his record and try to say horrible things against you because that's a tactic of the beast. That's a tactic to make whoever listening to you or seeing you knowing, well, this person is evil already, so why should I believe them? That's a defense mechanism that the beasts have taught the people that work for him, and Nasty Nate is one of them that worked for this beast. So they was attacking this sister
and make a video against this sister using a dummy account. So everybody that thinks I just make this stuff up, I'm not that good. All right, I don't have to lie. The facts are just that.
So he's saying he ain't got to lie. He ain't making none of this up. This is what really happened. Tahar, these are some of the groups he's showing the pictures of. That's
Shalom,
GMS.
Christ bless you all.
That they used to
I'm making this video because
try to infiltrate.
I've been in sin under the orders of my ex-leadership at IOIC. And that sin is making and creating propaganda under fake profiles and fake YouTube accounts and fake Facebook accounts, and creating propaganda against other camps.
You see that? This is organized propaganda, organized systemic racism. This is organized systemic infiltration and racism against the Israelite world. And Nasty Nate of the IUIC and them purple punks, they were orchestrating it. They were orchestrating it. They were orchestrating it.
Now, been a few years. I can't remember every single last thing that I or post that I made, but I will speak on the things that I can remember. And unfortunately, when I accessed my old iPhone, I was very limited to what I could access. So at the end of my apology and whom I am apologizing to, I will add a clip going through some of the snapshots that I could attain. Now there was two snapshots that got mixed up with those pictures, and that aren't snapshots that really pertain. Well, one of them does pertain to the situation because it has to do with what was done against ISUPK. But listen, I don't. This is not.
You hear that? So they specifically form their little spy groups and counterintelligence groups to create fake accounts and attack the ISUPK. They were trying to get our sisters and telling them to leave the leave the ISUPK. They would pretend to be women. These were men pretending to be women, trying to saying join our sisters group and leave the ISUPK. A lot of them were pretending to be women and talking to men in a sexual manner, man. In a sexual manner. What kind of man can you be? I guess if you're working for this beast, you do anything for the beast, man. If you love the beast, you got his mark in your forehead and in your hand, you'll do anything for this beast. I can't be a man and pretend to be a woman with another man. Yeah. But I guess, do your thing.
Not justifying to anybody that we did this against. Some of y'all brothers are wrong too. That doesn't matter though. What I did and what other brothers have done at IOIC and are still doing is still sin. And I'm even gonna apologize to IOIC in this video because the kingdom is at hand, and when the king returns, I'm gonna have to answer for things.
Damn right.
So I'm clearing my name once again.
One thing that thou lackest, young man. One thing that thou lackest, you should join the ISUPK and start from day one and be cleansed and let us clean you and get them demons off of you and teach you the right way. That's the only thing that you lack. Now, if he already then came into school and he's working on his troopership, y'all let me know. But I haven't seen him yet. That's the only thing that he lacked. A lot of you leave these Christian Israelite groups because you find out the evil that they're doing, and it's like you just walk the earth. It's like you just walk the earth and wait for the kingdom, man. But the Lord said the kingdom cometh not with observation. You ain't just supposed to sit back and wait for it. Come put your goddamn brick in, man. Come get to work. We need soldiers, man. We trying to be out of here, and we trying to do it the right way. Continuing on. Oh, this damn mouse. Salakia. Continuing on.
This is just for the Most High, but I still have to deal with my brothers. So
I'm going a little
apologizing to the ISUPK officially. First and foremost, we made fake profiles. I specifically made because this is the first one, so this is the one that I recall. I forget it. The sister's name started with a Y. I took female pictures from Instagram. Now all of this IYC knew about and they approved. So I took female pictures from some other Instagram account and I slightly modified it so the internet searches, like when you Google or anything else, so you wouldn't be able to trace it back to the originator. So even if you take the pictures, you wouldn't be able to put it on Google search or a Tiny Eye and try to search it back to who the original pictures belong to. And then we made posts and stuff. So basically, I added as many ISUPK members and other Israelite members as I could to try to start a viral trend against ISUPK and put certain posts out there. One of them which you will actually see in the in the clip that I'm going to.
And why was the IUIC, why was we so important to Nasty Nate? Why were we so important to Nasty Nate for him to make these fake accounts and to send his intelligence and try to get intelligence from us and try to corrupt us? Why? Because he was doing the same thing he'd been hired to do by Esau, was to create division, was to sow discord. Like the witnesses in his group said, he was trying to sow discord amongst the ISUPK. But it wasn't happening because we watchdogs like you wouldn't believe. We are watchdogs like you wouldn't believe. You understand? Getting back to the brother.
I'm going to add at the end.
And we don't fold. We the last ones to break. We the last ones for them to get rid of. You understand? But we ain't going nowhere. I pray you understand that.
I'm just trying to remember everything. So also, when the whole thing we made, one of the other biggest times that I know I was a part of the propaganda was when the Sakari camp made the video. So again, I apologize to everybody. So this is a message that I sent to somebody because in this case, ISUPK had gone to the Queen's camp and set up camp probably about 15 feet. There's a division between where IUIC has their camp in front of the E-train entrance in Queens off the corner of Jamaica. And right there is a...
Let me read this before he goes on. He might read it too. Remember, this happened when Tazadakia went out there and taught next to IUIC. Tazaryak, sorry, he was talking about Tazaryak. Elder Nathaniel, which is Nasty Nate, the crooked cop who framed the two brothers and falsely charged them, said he had a low-ranking member dressed normally with no fringes go stand in front of ISUPK with a wire. So he doing cop shit with a wire. Like, you ain't got to wear no wire to us because we don't hide our words. We don't hide our words. What you wearing a wire for? So he was recording ISUPK camp through a small camera on his shirt, just making you, I can't see the rest. Well, I'm going to let the brother speak.
A Arab that sells drinks and things of that sort. So on the other side, ISUPK was teaching. So the order had gone out that we put up a second camp about 30 to 40 feet on the same block away from ISUPK, but we tried to drown them out by putting speakers and drowning them out. And what the Elder Nathaniel had ordered was that he had one of the most lowest ranking members that ISUPK would not recognize from videos and have him dressed like a regular patron or a regular citizen with no fringes on, as if he was learning from ISUPK, and he had him wear a small camera on his person, on his button-up shirt, recording ISUPK. Why you would need all that, I don't know, but nonetheless, we just followed orders. Next, and all of this, I took pictures of off of my old phone because I didn't want anybody saying that it was photoshopped or anything. This is off my old little iPhone. Can barely keep a battery charge. So here we go. Captain Isaac telling me to send this message to Leon. This was videos that we did against ISUPK.
All right, so that's it. So Aki, give me a second. So there you have it, man. There you have it. Look, the task force, they studied the Israelite groups for years. For years and years, they studied them. You know what I'm saying? Gave their intelligence reports to Esau and their handlers. That's what Nasty Nate did. And then the agents that they reported to, along with their superiors, they decide to create an Israelite group. And thus the IUIC was born. The IUIC was born, and they've been continuing to do the same little black op groups against black and brown people, against the Israelite world. They was attempting to control the Israelite world. IUIC's leaders, they were set up by Edomites, in other words, aka Caucasian American intelligence agencies, to control the Israelite world. That's why a lot of their ex-members come out and make videos like this brother just did. That's why a lot of them come out and say these things, because Nathaniel is a detective, a crooked cop, and he always sowed discord, like the many witnesses said. He's a damn actor. He's an actor, man. You understand? He's like Hollywood. You understand? He's acting like he's a righteous Israelite, acting like a priest to fulfill his job, because he works for the beast. He works for Esau. You understand? And he gives these men under him orders to set up little groups within themselves to operate just like police. I saw them marching and chanting. Then I turned and see a state police march. The police were marching in the streets. Esau state police. Same march, and they were saying the same exact cadence. He don't even change the cadence to be an Israelite cadence. He was saying the same damn cadence that the police say, word for word. That's how much he loved the beast, and he loved what he represents. He don't even switch that to be Israelite words. You understand? He's a government intelligence agent that has been collecting intelligence for Esau for a long time now, ever since he joined the ISUPK in 1990. So he he joined in 1990. He been a cop in the sky since then, trying to sow discord. You understand? And of course, eventually he got his orders to start his own group. And that's why them purple punks march around claiming to be Israel, you understand, but doing everything against Israel, and especially against their daddy, the ISUPK. You understand? Especially that. You understand? Now, my question is, with the Christians, with you fake Israelites, with you crooked cops in the IUIC, for you members that know they do wrong, but you still go with it until they kick you out, or you still just ignore it, you still in there knowing that they do these things. This brother ain't the only one. Know they doing these corrupt things against Israelites. You understand? There's people that's still in there. They didn't leave or didn't get kicked out. They're still doing these operations. You understand? If being part of a group that's almost serving the Lord and raising up the tribes of Jacob, that's almost doing it or pretending like they doing it, you know what I'm saying? You just as evil as them if you stay in there. You just as foul as the people you follow if you stay up in there. You understand? You think because, okay, I know they do that and that and that, but we still do a lot for the Israelites. We still do a lot to raise up Israel. We have this and that function, and the people need us. So they do a lot of good. That's what I hear amongst you Christian Israelites who ain't even following them too much. You see them and you say, well, they still do a lot of good. All y'all should get along. All y'all should get along. They still do a lot of good. They ain't doing no good unless they serving the Most High in Christ totally. Don't be lukewarm. Christ said you can't just do a lot of good. You got to be an Israelite raising up this nation, man, or else you lukewarm. Okay, they do that, it's wrong. They do this wrong thing. They do this, and that's pretty evil, but they still do a lot of good. You just as Christian as the damn Baptist church. You just as Christian as the Baptist church, man. And so I'm over the time, and I got to go. You understand? Let me see. All I can say to you, you follow them purple cats, you follow these Christian Israelite groups, and you still think you got it and still think you the ones, no matter what evil you see amongst them. All I can say is more power to you. All I can say is more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Once again, you can't force the horse to drink the water. Although you didn't took him to the water, you can't force him to do it. You can't force him to do it, man. One West for life. One West for life. One West, forget the rest. You understand? Kwam Yasha Allah. Shalom, Israel. I'll see y'all next week, man. I'll see y'all in UK. Whoever can make it, we getting down in UK in about a couple of weeks, man. And we going to get it in. So I say shalom to y'all. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathum, Yahweh Shema Alathun, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Look, I don't even know how to end the damn show.